coming in at number 89, we have Jacksonville Jaguars running back Leonard Fournette. And, I can already feel the controversy stirring up with this one because for some reason, ever since the Jaguars took Fournette 4th overall in the 2017 NFL Draft, the really popular opinion surrounding him has been that he's an absolute bust. The dude's trash, the dude's garbage, he's a bona fide scrub, right? Well, to me, that couldn't be more wrong and really further from the truth, because all you're doing in saying that, to me, is you're penalizing him unfairly for something he's had zero control over, in the fact that he has to play every week in a lackluster situation in Jacksonville. And I think even the most hardcore of Jaguars fans would admit that the front office has done a very poor job of surrounding him with the talent necessary to be successful. You think of who he's had at the quarterback position these last 3 years. You want to talk about Blake Bortles, Nick Foles, and Gardner Minshew. That sounds like 3 career backups to me, and for a reason. You think of the play that he's had on the outside and on the perimeter. Well, sure, DJ Chark showed some promise this past year, but who else has there been to force defenders out of the box? There's been nobody. And, if you don't believe me saying that, just look at NFL Next Gen stats. They keep a total of what percentage of your running plays are into 8+ defender boxes, right? Well, Fournette was number 2 in the league last year at 31% of his runs, of his 265 runs, being rammed right into 8+ defender boxes. And, to penalize him for that, to me, that's just a slap in the face. Maybe we should be, maybe instead of pointing the finger at Fournette, we should be actually pointing the finger at guys like Cam Robinson or AJ Cann or Jawan Taylor, guys who might actually be bust, instead of just acting like Fournette's the only problem here. Because at the end of the day, the running back position can't do it all on their own. They are dependent on others to help take pressure off of them, and it seems like that got lost in translation for Leonard Fournette. And really, first things first, in terms of what makes Fournette so special and worthy of that number 89 spot, to me, what jumps off the tape right away is his acceleration. There's not very many guys at his size that can move as quickly and easily as he does. So just watch him here against the Denver Broncos, how, he doesn't really find a hole at first, but once he locates this cutback lane backside, look how smoothly and quickly he's able to put that foot in the ground and just go. And that's what you're going to see here. He's about to locate this hole in this backside B gap, and once he puts that foot in the ground, decides he's going north and south, he goes. Because look at that. He looks like he's running in 1.25 speed compared to everybody else on the screen. And sure, he eventually is going to get brought down, but there's very few guys of his kind of style of play that are making plays like this on a consistent basis. But really, before you can accelerate through those holes, you have to have the vision to really locate and anticipate where they're about to form, right? Well, there's some plays where Leonard, he makes something out of absolutely nothing with this kind of lackluster offensive line. And this is one of those plays that just jumped off the tape to me as wildly impressive, because I would love to hear where all those people who call Leonard a bust, I would love to hear where you are taking this play. There are 8 Tennessee Titans packed in this box right now, and I don't see anything opening up anytime soon. But you know who does? Somehow, number 27. He makes himself small, hugs his blockers, spins off of contact, and turns something fantastic, a massive run out of what was virtually nothing and destined to be a tackle for loss. Obviously, no, he ends up getting hawked down by Kevin Byard, a very special player in his own right. That's why he got a video yesterday. But man, like just the ability to even turn that into a positive gain at all, that's so special by Fournette. And here's another really good example against the Titans. So initially what you're going to see here is an inside zone play against what looks to be a pretty open middle of the field, right? Well, just watch how instantly this pretty open box turns into a very constricted box. And what you're going to see off the snap is, boom, Andrew Norwell, he gets beat. He lets this linebacker cross his face. So any chance of this play banging a gap where it was supposed to, that's out the window, right? So what does Fournette do? He's able to put his foot in the ground, react to that, and bounce this play outside. Well, what's he see when he goes outside? Okay, he sees this other tight end getting beat, and he sees another man filling on the edge. Well, what does he do that? He cuts it back inside, and again, he's able to fight through an arm tackle and turn something out of nothing. And it's just plays like these that impress me so much, because you think of a guy with Fournette's running style. A lot of times people just want to think that he's a bowling ball back. Well, in a lot of cases, he is a bowling ball back, and he will power through you. But just the ability to get his feet in the ground and make such quick and effective cuts, it's wildly impressive to me, and one of the things that makes him number 89 on my list. And even though I did touch on his agility in those last two slides, I wanted to properly recognize it with one of its own because, it's just so impressive to me how a guy at his size is able to make the plays that he does. So here he is going up against the Cincinnati Bengals, and what you're going to see again is just his anticipation and just his ability to make 3 quick cuts to evade his own blockers as well as defenders without losing any speed. And you're going to see it really at every level here as he does it once at the line of scrimmage, once at the second level, and then once on a defensive back. It's just so impressive, and hopefully you'll get a better view of it from kind of the tight cam. Well, look at how here he's going to see off the snap, boom, he sees the defensive tackle is crossing number 65's face. Well, I'm going to cut that outside, right? Boom. And then what's he see here? He sees Norwell is doing an okay job at sealing that, but he also sees the safety coming down. So he's able to bounce off that and anticipate that. And then what's he see there? Obviously the receiver ends up giving up his leverage, but he sees that initially the defender appears to have that inside leverage on the wide receiver, so he cuts it outside there and is able to just beat him to the edge. So it's just wildly impressive that, this is a 230-pound man making cuts like that without losing any real speed. And perhaps even more impressive than his agility and his acceleration is Fournette's balance, and really just his balance through contact, because what you see is Leonard rarely ever plays outside of his frame. He does such a great job keeping his legs churning and staying upright despite, taking blows like this from the Titans, despite running into his own offensive player on this play and really spinning off that. And you'll see that while a lot of players struggle to kind of maintain that upright posture and continue running downfield after that type of contact, it really doesn't faze Leonard. And that's so impressive to me because there's very few guys that are just able to, almost like a punching bag, just absorb these blows, yet remain upright. Well, Leonard does that on a game-in and game-out basis for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And there it is again. You just see the small cuts. You see the contact, and yet he's so tough to bring down. And here's another example against the Saints. This time it appears to be another run designed to go up the middle. Well, surprise, surprise, there's no holes. Fournette has to bounce outside. So even despite making that quick cut and then having some initial contact at really the line of scrimmage here with one Saints defensive back, he's able to run through that arm tackle without being really forced off balance. And then, again, he gets quite a bit of contact with Marshon Lattimore, but gets a nice stiff arm and is able to fight for extra yards. It's just that low center of gravity and really strong lower body that allows him to keep his legs churning and never really be forced outside of his frame. There's so many running backs in the league that with any contact and really any arm tackles or anything, they're forced into a recovery step or 2 recovery steps where they have to slow down, kind of regain their bearings. Well, not Fournette, because, again, he's just so strong, he's so powerful, and he's just able to absorb that contact and keep going. And it's really that balance that helps him get 1,100 yards despite this lackluster offensive line. But here's Fournette's bread and butter, it's his power. You want to talk about the strong lower body, the strong upper body, honestly, and just his ability to keep his legs churning. Well, look at it here against Panthers defensive back Ross Cockrell. And what you'll see just on contact, again, you don't want to be in the way of Leonard Fournette when he's going full speed because that'll happen, and he absolutely flattens him. You best believe that Ross Cockrell felt that when he woke up Monday morning, because it's plays like these that Fournette's making on a consistent basis where he's just punishing defenders. And even though this isn't a huge run, right, because there's not very much that you can do when I see a lot of blue jerseys, exposed to the ball, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I don't see very many white ones blocking their guys. But Fournette's still able to keep those legs going, keep fighting through contact, and gain extra yards when he really had no business to. And here's another really good example where it's a short yardage conversion play, and we have more defenders than we have blockers. And for most guys, that's a problem. Well, for Leonard Fournette, he welcomes that, because what's he going to do when you put him one-on-one against smaller defensive backs in space? He's going to put that shoulder down and just make you feel him. And that's exactly what makes Leonard Fournette so special. And as a result, he picks up a first down. I don't want to say an easy first down because this definitely wasn't easy, but Leonard Fournette makes it look pretty easy because he's just so strong again, and he has so much upper lower body strength that he's able to punish these smaller and even sometimes equally sized defenders on really a regular basis. And one area where I thought Fournette showed immense growth in 2019 was as a receiving threat out of the backfield and really becoming that dual threat runner who can play on every down, because while obviously before he was a really good pass blocker, well, now he can also, when there's nobody there, he can also check and release and really make plays after the catch. And before you're like, no, he's not a good receiver. Well, he had 76 receptions on 100 targets last year. And, a 76% catch rate is right up there with actually the guys like Kamara and Christian McCaffrey. They're around 79 to 84, but that's not bad for a guy who's not known for his receiving ability. So here's just a play where, again, he kind of shows it all. It's a check and release play. He's out of the backfield, makes a really simple catch, and then he makes Trayvon Mullen pay with that power and with that stiff arm. It's just plays like these that you didn't really see out of the 2017 and 2018 Leonard Fournette that made me so kind of surprised watching him on film, because this is just another added element of his game, and it was especially useful considering the Jaguars were playing from behind so often. And lastly, here's another side of him as a dual threat, but more importantly, it's him just putting everything together. So what you're going to see on this play is Fournette flare out of the backfield to the flats, and Gardner just immediately dumped the ball off to him, and really unsurprisingly, no offense, Gardner, it's not the best throw because Gardner's not the best quarterback, as I already said. But Fournette's able to go up there, pull it down, make a really nice grab, which I really didn't know that he had in his tool belt. But either way, then he's able to instantly get his eyes where they belong on the defender, Deion Jones, who I talked about him in my number 93 video. One of the best linebackers in the NFL. He's great in coverage, but he's even better as kind of a sideline-to-sideline playmaker, right? Well, Fournette has just the agility and elusiveness to hit him with this beautiful in-and-out move and just break Deion Jones' ankles. But not to be outdone, here comes Ricardo Allen, right? And Ricardo Allen, he's a little bit off balance, and Fournette's going to make him really off balance because he puts the shoulder down and just makes him pay. And it's plays like these where Fournette is, again, able to make something out of, for a lot of backs, it would have been nothing, because for many backs, that's an incomplete pass, if not a tackle after 2 yards, if not a tackle after 7 yards. But Fournette, again, he's able to just keep extending plays with that agility, with that elusiveness, with that power and balance. And as a result, that's why he's number 89 on my mic'd up top 100. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, make sure you leave a comment. Was I convincing in kind of my portrayal of Fournette as the 89th best player in the league? Or do you think that he's a bust, he's trash, because he hasn't lived up to kind of the same expectations as guys like Zeke Elliott and Saquon Barkley? It's an interesting conversation to be had. I just think that there's so much stuff that Fournette does well, and so much stuff that I couldn't even talk about in this slide. I don't know how to really show a clip of him being a secure ball carrier, but in his last 800 carries, Fournette's only put the ball on the ground 3 times, and that's even more impressive when you consider that Zeke Elliott in his last 736 touches has fumbled 9 times. It's just stuff like that people don't seem to want to recognize and don't seem to notice that Fournette is still able to do despite the lack of talent around him. So that being said, if you guys did enjoy the video and would like to see more, we obviously have 88 more on the horizon in my mic'd up top 100 series. So make sure you subscribe, get these videos in your sub boxes. I'm having a lot of fun making them. Hopefully you guys are having a lot of fun watching them. But with that being said, I'm mic'd up. Now I'm mic'ing out. Peace, guys.